chat function, you will see
These include products that have been manufactured and contain marijuana or an extract from marijuana, including concentrated forms of marijuana and products composed of marijuana and other ingredients that are intended for use or consumption, including edible products, beverages, topical products, ointments, oils, and tinctures. Marijuana research facility, an entity licensed to engage in research projects by the Cannabis Control Commission. Marijuana social consumption establishments, also known as a marijuana cafe. An entity licensed by the Cannabis Control Commission to purchase marijuana or marijuana products from a cultivator, manufacturer, or micro business, sell marijuana or marijuana products to consumers at an approved premise and allow consumers to consume marijuana or marijuana products at this premise. Medical Marijuana Treatment Center, MMTC, an entity formally registered under 935 CMR 501.100, also known as a registered marijuana dispensary, RMD, that acquires, cultivates, possesses, processes, including development of related products such as edible marijuana or marijuana products, tinctures, aerosols, oils, or ointments, transports, sells, distributes, delivers, dispenses, or administers marijuana, products containing marijuana, related supplies, or educational materials to registered qualifying patients or their personal caregivers for medical use, unless otherwise specified. MMTC refers to the sites of dispensing, cultivation, and preparation of marijuana for medical use. Microbrew pub, a restaurant with a small brewery that produces limited amounts of specialty beer, 15,000 barrels per annum or less.
That's a small brewery.
Okay,
Jane, does that, can I stop you for a second? Does the amended section 4800 plan unit development go before Article 35? That seems to be a zoning one as well. Right at the bottom of your new page 20.
Can you hear his comments, Chris?
No. What was the question?
It seems like it's part of a. You don't have the new warrant, do you, Chris?
That's
No,
what
I don't.
It's
But
on the
I'm
screen.
looking at it. Lou shared the screen.
Okay, I got you. My mistake.
It is a new article. Is that right?
Yeah.
It's a new article.
Sorry, Steve.
okay, Article 35. To see if the town will vote or take votes to make changes and additions to the Bernardston zoning bylaws as highlighted to amend section 4800 plan unit development to allow such development in the business B and industrial I districts, or to take any other action thereto. Amend section 48 planned unit development as follows. 4830 location. Planned unit developments may be located in the expedited permitting districts, EPD, business B, or industrial I districts.
What the hell's a planned unit development?
basically what that is, so planned unit developments are allowing more than one use on a parcel. So the expedited permitting district already allows planned unit development. So if we wanted to have let's say we don't want to call it a strip mall, but let's say if there was a shopping center and it had several different stores in it, that would be allowed in the expedited permitting district. What we're doing is trying to expand that to the other districts so that perhaps we can get more business in town.
Okay.
Okay, Article-
Can I
Oh.
interrupt? Never mind, I lost my page.
oh,
Well, I was looking at a different.
so
Yeah, if premise is the right term in that social consumption paragraph, not premises.
On what?
And the marijuana social consumption establishment. At an approved premise.
it should, a premise is
Is the location.
but that would be premises. I think what you mean, can we change that to site or location?
Yeah.
So
I
you're
think
under,
I don't think it's the right word, is what I'm saying.
A premise is a
Regulations.
supposit, I believe.
I'm looking at what the Cannabis Control Commission actually considers a social consumption and delivery to consumers category. Got it. I think, I'd like to leave it, and this still has to be reviewed by town council. Like I said, FERCog gave this to us. They'd already gone through these before with other towns and gave these same definitions to other towns as well. So I think I'd like to leave that just for town council to weigh in on, because I'm sure she'll have some changes she's going to want to do. She always does.
I'll look it up in the dictionary when I get home and let you know.
Anytime.
But 8 pages. Want to do this first, guys?
Well, and you know that, we're not gonna read them in the town meeting. He will pause and wait and give everybody time to read. Jeff will. Is
Yeah.
that the moderator?
Yes.
So that's normally what he does is say, there it is, read it. If you have questions, raise your hand. He doesn't read the whole thing or have anybody read the whole thing. At least.
No, if you're gonna pause and let people read it, then how do you know you've give them enough time unless you go read through it?
Well, because you read it. If you say, I'm gonna pause and give you time enough to read it, then you read it, and when you get finished reading it, everybody else should read it.
Okay, Article 36.
To see if the town will vote to authorize the select board to finance a fire station by borrowing up to $3 million and to seek to offset that amount with grants or other donations, or take any vote or votes relative thereto.
I think we need to add some language to that.
If that's just a starting point. I'm sure we wanted that to start.
Where'd you go?
I went back to the 2017 vote that we were never able to take, but they also added in there, provided, however, that this appropriation and debt authorization contingent upon passage of a Prop 2.5 debt exclusion referendum under general laws, chapter 59, section 21C, parentheses K, the taking vote or votes in relation to it too. And it had other verbiage above it. I don't know how much of it pertains anymore.
Well, it's been a while since we discussed that we can take the vote to exempt at any time. We don't have to do it at this now. Let me use a different example. Suppose we, we just bought a highway truck. And we are also have on the ballot to exempt that from 2.5. We've already got the truck and we've already budgeted to make the first payment. We have not yet excluded it. And if it's voted down, we won't exclude it. But we didn't have to take that exclusion vote at the same time we decided to buy the truck. We said we can take it at any point along the loan when we decide that it is beneficial to the town to do that. And that's why that's not in this article for the same reason. And finance, and I thought the select board was there, but we discussed this some time ago about the fact that the vote could be changed to exempt, can be taken at any time. It doesn't have to be taken
Well,
concurrently.
that I believe, but in my opinion, we're talking $180,000 versus $3 million.
I just used that as an example
Okay.
because I thought that it was something that's going on now, so everybody would
Well,
understand.
do you think it's important that vote happen before we spend a penny?
Do I?
I'm not willing to go and spend $100 and some odd thousand dollars on architectural plans, not knowing if it's gonna be a debt excluded project. To me, the $3 million is contingent on that vote, coming to the ballot box and checks yes or no, they want to be debt excluded or Prop 2.5 override. That was discussions I think we had at several of these meetings, unless I totally blanked out.
Well, we discussed it a number of times.
I'm perfectly honest, I'm totally against any article that doesn't include that on the town meeting floor. I think the two have to go together. This is a
So you're
3 million,
saying just to say in contingent upon,
as we did in 2017, when we were only trying to borrow 2.015 million.
We never got to
I
even
understand
present that,
that,
yeah.
but
You know.
it would have, even if it had passed the town.
I don't have
meeting
a
in
problem with that
2017,
adding the verbiage. I mean,
We would have had to have the vote.
it's just a matter of typing it in. It's not like it's gonna be,
Well, I mean, one way, if it passed the town meeting, it's done. If there's not contingent on anything. If the contingency lines are added in there, the town meeting vote is the first step, check. And the town election on May 10th, if it passes that, debt exclusion, check. Then the project goes ahead. If town meeting passes and debt exclusion fails, it's done.
I have to agree with Brian, because if they vote yes to allow you to do the 3 million, then why have the question on the ballot?
Right. We went to the,
Well, we put it on the ballot because we had to have them printed before we got to this point with the warrant.
and I think the discussion that we had at these meetings, the intent of those discussions drove that question to be put on that ballot. One's contingent on the other.
Well, I appreciate where you're coming from, but I also think that it's important to know that you don't have to have the exclusion at the same time you take the vote. You can do the exclusion at any point along the loan. I mean, you could make 10 years worth of payments and then decide, oh, we want to exclude this.
I understand that. I'm just saying for Brian to be in on this, it needs to be included in the warrant article. Or Brian voting against it, and we'll say that at the town meeting. I'm good with that. I'm only one person.
I know, I realize that, Brian, and
I don't see what the problem is with adding in. I mean, it was added in here in Article 2 then.
I mean, to me personally, my thought of it, written the way it's written, without that in there,
So you're just
being
gonna add,
disingenuous as the discussions we've had at these meetings.
you're just gonna,
well, I want to reiterate that Lou asked me if I would help him write that article, and I had too much on my plate when he asked me. So I just threw this language down, and then he wound up being too busy to examine it any further.
No, and I can appreciate that.
If this weren't on here, we wouldn't even be having this discussion.
And I understand that. That's why I went digging for my old.
Oh, there's no
See how
fault,
it
we're
works.
finding fault with nobody. We're just,
Right.
we're just
I didn't
glad
even
it's
know
on
it was
here.
gonna be on this copy, to be honest with you. That's why I went digging for that.
and-
My first opportunity was Friday, this was already done by the time I found it.
Well, and quite frankly, this is why we're meeting now, to really get the best warrant put together we possibly can.
Right, and as you said, Jane, this was the first stab at it.
Oh, wait, read the next article.
Discussion and citizen suggestions regarding needed renovations to town-owned buildings.
Who put that on there?
I did. Today when I was typing that.
That gives us a chance if, I think, if this thing gets shot down, we've got a chance to discuss.
No, it's a good call.
It's on the warrant, it's got a chance to
Because that's
discuss.
what we weren't allowed to do in 2017. That's really, gonna force the conversation, so that's a good thing.
Well,
One way or the other.
it's gonna allow the conversation.
Right.
And that's what I,
Yeah, that's good,
No, that's good.
because we're gonna take a break, we're gonna take a break after Article 35. And we're gonna say, we're gonna, close the meeting and resume it.
To be
on-
continued tomorrow night. I
Continue.
forget how you have to word it.
So, yeah, I would add the, you can do that, add that 2.5% thing.
You might, I know you.
I don't see that there's any problem with this, but it does require 2/3 majority for approval.
this whole article, even the way it's there,
Okay,
doesn't it, Lou? Even without this.
we will have to know that from the attorney to make sure.
Yeah, that's.
Well, if you add that 2.5%, definitely requires a 2/3.
I assume the Mass General Law 2017 referred to still. Like,
Okay, anything else that we want to discuss on this warrant?
Okay, Jane, I added, how much of free cash do we have left now? I know you've been busy, I added up, we spent
We
211,000.
have 3,000.
What did we get, 169 for the new free cash, sir?
167.
I'm 89.
167 and 89, right?
I threatened to add that to the reserve fund.
So we had 256,000 to spend, and we spent 211,883.
No, we haven't spent any of it yet.
Wow.
I think James calculated he's only had over 3,000.
I just added up everything.
For spreadsheet there.
Some for it.
Chris, are you gonna be all set with the, are you gonna set the meeting up the same as Paul used to? Town meeting? With the wristbands and
Yes,
keep it-
oh, wristbands. I guess I should, huh? Wristbands. Didn't even give that a thought. I better check and see what we've got
yeah,
for
and then-
supplies.
And we gotta make sure people that are not residents do not sit with people that are residents.
Right. We'll need a sign for that.
Yeah.
Non-residents. Are you going to go over to a Kringle barn or the farm table at some point and look at the facility and figure out how we're gonna set that up
Yeah, we're gonna. well,
sooner than later?
Pretty much know how we're gonna set it up, but we're gonna go over there the day of and set it up. On May
Okay,
5th, we'll be going over there, we'll probably meeting at noon and going through it, and they'll have the chairs available for us and the tables. So we'll just set them up however we want them.
okay. I have a commitment at 3 o'clock. I have an appointment that I can't get out of.
That's all right.
Okay.
All right,
Just-
Did you set this up on the 5th? Or when you gonna get, the BNC TV person in there? We set this up not the day of the. we
Well,
set
I
it
can
up
talk to them,
2 days before.
maybe go over it, let me talk to them and see what day we can get in there, maybe we'll go over on Tuesday. The meeting's Wednesday, go over on Tuesday.
I feel more comfortable doing that. Stan.
PNC probably wants to get in there far sooner than.
Yeah,
Okay.
Tyler mentioned the sooner the better, because he's gotta get a feeling for what the Wi-Fi capabilities are. As far as streaming the meeting and stuff.
Okay.
You maybe should get in there the last week of April.
Yeah, he
No,
said-
they use that function for other things, Bob, they don't just have, town of Bernardston doing things, they got other people doing things.
So they have all the,
Oh, what?
the loudspeakers and
No,
stuff.
well, Tyler's gonna set that up, he set it up for us at the school.
I know, but he was doing that 2 days before we were there. He was up on the stage.
Yeah.
So the school was there too, helping. I just- We wanna make sure it's set up right. It's the first time we've been over there.
We'll
Bob, you
talk
wanna go-
tomorrow.
Are you finished with that? I go back to-
Yeah.
Okay, hold on, we're going back to free cash first.
We had a total certified free cash of $257,505,
257.5,
505.
okay,
These are the allocations that I have.
Yep.
10,000 to the ambulance fund.
Yep.
10,000 to tree removal.
Yep.
$6,286.47 to Franklin County Tax Capital.
correct,
PDRS capital, $2,696.90.
correct,
15,000 to renovate, construct town building.
correct,
5,000 to employee retirement separation costs.
Yep.
5,000 to LPV.
Yep.
60,000 for a truck payment.
Yep.
55,900. 55,900, I can't read it.
55,000.
Just
55
Yeah, yeah.
stabilization,
for, yeah,
front loader.
no, that's like, don't do that.
Oh.
55,900 for stabilization.
yeah, plus 20,000 stabilization, right?
That's
And
what,
20,000 to vehicle stabilization.
So 75.9, yeah,
42,000 for the skid steer,
you know, 42,000 skid steer,
and 2,000 to tools.
Yep.
And 20,000 to the reserve fund.
okay, 42,000 for the skid steer, thank you.
what was that last one?
20,000 to the reserve fund,
Thank you very much. Got about
leaving
three-
a balance of $3,621.
Okay,
And
thank
I'd like to put that someplace.
Okay,
We can add it, we can
anything else on the
put
budget?
it to reserve fund or to stabilization.
That's all, something.
Make more sense.
Okay, Chris, I think we're all set with you.
Okay. Perfect.
We're gonna- Anybody else got anything?
Just that $3,000 Jane's talking about, which one makes more sense to put it in, Jane, you think, the reserve or the stabilization? 6.5 is the other.
Are you gonna bring the free cash down to zero?
Yeah.
For what reason?
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? You just go over into free cash next. Put in reserve where we can use it maybe.
That's true, we can always transfer it out.
Right, otherwise you gotta get town approval.
All right, I'll increase the reserve fund by $3,000. We can either do it, we can either modify and add $3,000 now, or we can make it an amendment on the floor.
What now? Do it now.
Okay. And table one,
Table one, the famous table. That's a,
the last line, last category in table one, is the reserve fund. And it's from 20,000 to 23,000
mhm.
and making the total 53,000. And it will change. Want me to send you a new table one,
Or at least the details for those lines, Jane.
but it'll also change the chart up top, the
Correct.
rate of the path up there and over. Yeah. I just
So
want-
total other would be 55,000. Or 25.
55 or 25, yeah.
Okay,
And it's gonna change that last number. She'll get it for you. Good, thank you very much.
are we happy with the budget? Are we happy with what we've done? Are we happy, do we have any discussion that we've got to just talk about, or do we want to go back and revisit some of our decisions? Hearing none, does anybody else have anything to come before this week? I don't think we need one tomorrow night, do we?
I'm good with that too.
We need one on Wednesday. All those in favor of adjourning? All right, good night, folks.